Amen. Say man. Glory to God, man. What up, YouTube? It's MW Point Part 2, not Part 1. Back with it, back with it, back with it, back with another video. You feel me? And today, we gonna be reacting to some crazy stuff. I got a crazy one for you. Let me calm down. I got a crazy one here for y'all today, fellas, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why I'm so turned. But look, though, we got a crazy one here for y'all today, bro. Urban legends that turned out to be true. It hit different. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Me, personally, I believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff. Because, you feel me? God is a spirit. You feel me? So, spirits is real. But y'all be having me messed up with y'all think. Like, y'all gonna come in my house, get the touching and moving stuff and harm me. Like, no, I don't think they can harm. I hope not. Shoot, I don't think they. I ain't trying to. You feel me? I don't really. Bro, when I was a kid, I used to get off into that. I used to like want to play the Ouija board. I ain't never played it, but I used to play that Charlie pencil game. You feel me? I almost played Bloody Mary. I ain't never played Candyman. I'm still scared of. I'm still scared of that. I ain't never playing that. Get merch. That boy came in the hood, got to terrorizing niggas. Real life terrorizing like in the hood. You know how much horror movies they be scared to go after the black folk with the pole, you feel me? They be scared to go after the pole unless they like Jason or Michael Myers or something. They be eating bullets. But most people like Ghostface, that nigga not going into no hood, you feel me? Go get this double ass pop. That knife ain't doing nothing to nobody, you feel me? But look though, Candyman, he'll go up in that hood and terrorize it, man. I ain't never played that on, bro. But look though, we's gonna be reacting to urban legends that turned out to be true. Y'all, we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we got about 7 stories. That be called the bunny, man. Hey, we gotta see which one is scariest, y'all. We gonna rank it 1 out of 10 each story. Come on, we gonna hop straight into it, man. Glory to God. I love y'all. Come on.
West Hobart Haunted
Hey, get y'all
House.
snacks. Get y'all snacks.
West Hobart is an inner city suburb located in Tasmania, Australia.
Okay.
Over the years, dozens of allegations.
I'm glad. Hey, stay far away from me. Don't be in Michigan. Don't be in Ohio. Don't be nowhere close. Hey, stay away from me, bro. I hope these stores like on the other side of the country. Yeah, Australia, good one. I'm sorry, Australia, I gotta deal with it, but on photo, hey, I ain't going there, bro.
Things, ghost apparitions, and other paranormal activity have been made by tourists and residents of West Hobart. And it's honestly not too hard to see why, as West Hobart is a pretty old town with a generally creepy vibe. As is usually the case, most of these stories have either turned out to be fake, or the people making the allegations didn't have enough evidence to support their claims, which makes it almost entirely likely that they're hoaxes.
Okay.
But as it turns out, at least one of these stories actually has some amount of truth to it. Okay. Back in the late 80s and mid-90s, rumors started spreading of a house in West Hobart that was apparently so haunted it drove its residents insane. At first, the rumors created a huge
look haunted. That bitch got the eye, nose. Y'all see this? Mouth. That bitch look like it can eat you, bro. I'm not going in there, not stepping foot in there. What? These ain't no LED lights. Why this bit red and pink? Then this chimney look like a nose. Then the balcony look like a mouth. I'm not stepping foot in that house. Bro. No cap. Y'all crazy folk, man. Y'all better be paying me good money. Shoot. And I better have a Bible and cross with me. No cap. Y'all better move around.
Residents insane.
No cap.
At first, the rumors created a huge buzz all over town, with the locals doing everything possible to stay far away from the alleged haunted house. It wasn't until months later that the authorities got involved and finally got a clear picture of the situation. While it was true that the house's residents appeared to be going insane, it didn't have anything to do with paranormal activity, but with the fact that a datura vine had been growing through the trees directly above the home and dropping leaves into the family's rainwater tank. For a long time, the family had been inadvertently consuming microdoses of the plant every single day, which made them slowly but surely start to lose their sanity as they sank further and further into delirium.
Okay.
In case you've never heard of it, datura is a species of plant within the nightshade family, also known as Jimson weed, the devil's weed, or devil's trumpet, and you'll see why in a second. Even though the plant itself looks pretty harmless, it's known for having extremely powerful hallucinogenic properties, which is why it was used for centuries by Native American tribes in coming-of-age rituals and other important ceremonies.
So you telling me a plant can make it so I can see things like demons and see stuff and I'm not seeing hallucinating shit? A plant? Man, this world is powerful, bro. This world got so many mysteries in it. We won't even find out before we die, bro. Real talk, it be so much, it's crazy, y'all.
It was used for centuries by Native American tribes in coming-of-age rituals and other important ceremonies. The Aztecs also used datura as a painkiller in certain rituals, namely in ritual sacrifices, and it's also commonly used as an ingredient in the ritual of zombification in the Haitian voodoo religion, where it's referred to as the devil's cucumber. As you can probably tell by now, datura isn't your typical recreative hallucinogen, and there's a reason why it's really only ever used in hardcore spiritual rituals and ceremonies, and sometimes by naive people who have no idea what they're getting themselves into. In low to medium doses, datura causes extremely distressing, delirious experiences, and in higher doses it can lead to paralysis and even death. Nowadays, datura is recognized by most tribes as a highly toxic and dangerous plant, and have understandably stopped using it.
So it was growing in their house. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. That one ain't that do seem true though. That really is true. It could be a plant. That could happen. So they basically thought it was paranormal, but really it was just this plant growing in their house for some reason through their vine pipe or whatever, and it got in their water and they was drinking it, so they was going crazy. You know, that could happen, bro.
And have understandably stopped using it.
That can happen. That's true. I'm gonna rate that. Well, how scary y'all think that is? I think that's true. Like 10 out of 10. I think that's a real story. I think that'd be like 6 out of 10 scary. I don't know. I don't know how crazy they was going. I ain't trying to find out either. But like, you feel me? I was rated a 6 out of 10. You feel me? Like, you know, oh bro.
I wanted to take a minute to talk about.
I rated 7 out of 10. 7.
Thunder, the sponsor of this video.
Oh, I thought this was a story. I'm dumb. This is a game. This been low key kind of. Actually, I never played it. It looked fun, though. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that bit was a story, though. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 stories, not 7.
Cropsey. If you were to somehow go back to the 70s and spend some time in Staten Island, it probably wouldn't take you long to hear about an urban legend of a man named Cropsey. As the story went, Cropsey was a serial kidnapper and killer who lost his son and resorted to stealing other people's children to deal with his grief. According
Man, y'all fuck be having life messed up in the head, bro. Like, you lost your son, so you trying to get another son? When you can just... If you want another kid that bad, find a wife, bro. You don't gotta steal people's kids, and then you killing them. Well, you just lost another son. Like, what we doing right now, bro? It's like weird.
Who lost his son and resorted to stealing other people's children to deal with his grief. According to the legend, Cropsey also had a hook for a hand, scars,
I'm letting that bit go off. Let us see my son walking with somebody. What holding their hand? What they looking like this? Boy, this ain't gonna be no YouTube prank. You gonna be on the floor. What? Merch, I ain't finding no hook with a hand. You ain't finna be swinging at me with no hook. We ain't finna go knife for knife. We finna go gun for knife. And I'm be the one with the pole. So you, hey, move around, bro. Real talk. I'm gonna give you a chance too. Like, give my kid back. Let this joint go off on, bro. Y'all better know.
According to the legend, Cropsey also had a hook for a hand, scars, burns, and open wounds covering his entire face and body, and a generally horrifying appearance. Considering the mass areas of uninhabited woodlands, it's not all that unexpected that a tale like the legend of Cropsey would make it into the mainstream culture at some point. Unfortunately, this wasn't just a tall tale made up by Staten Island parents to keep their kids from venturing too far into the woods and getting lost. Although the legend has some obviously made-up elements, such as the hooked hand and the horrifying scars and burns, at some point in the early 70s, children in Staten Island really did start disappearing. That's when the line between legend and reality started to blur, and the story of the real Cropsey immediately replaced the urban legend. This is the real story. Andre Rand was a man from Manhattan who was born in 1944.
Just look at him, y'all. He looked crazy. He looked like he shouldn't even be on this earth. He don't even look like a human. Like, why is his face like this? Nigga said, like, come on, I can't even make the face he doing, bro. Like, he got his dimples curved in and just, like, that bit flat, like.
And moved to Staten Island in the late 60s.
Like, bro.
After working for 2 years at the infamously brutal Willowbrook State School for Children with Disabilities, Rand was arrested in 1969 and served over a year in prison for the attempted attack of a 9-year-old girl. As soon as
he only got a year? Whoa, what we doing? And he only got a year? He said, "Oh, an attempted attack." Still, ain't that like attempt? I don't know. I don't know too much on the story.
For the attempted attack of a 9-year-old girl. As soon as he was released 16 months later, reports started cropping up of more little girls disappearing all over Staten Island, including 5-year-old Alice Pereira, who was playing in her building's lobby when she suddenly disappeared without a trace. Over the next decade, Rand was the prime suspect in the disappearances and deaths of several other young girls in the area. But it wasn't until 1983 when he picked up 11 kids from a local YMCA and brought them fast food before taking them to the airport that he was finally arrested and sentenced to 10 months in prison again. Throughout the
10 months! Y'all, man. Bro, so you telling me, bro? This what y'all telling me, bro? Y'all telling me he steady kidnapping girls. Y'all ain't even find the old girl. Y'all ain't even find both them girls. So he probably killed them. And y'all gonna give him 10 months. After he just went to jail for almost assaulting a 9-year-old girl. Now he kidnapping girls. You think y'all think he gonna not? Y'all think he's gonna get out and change? Look at him. What the fuck? Like, what are you doing, bro?
Into the airport that he was finally arrested and sentenced to 10 months in prison again. Throughout the 70s and 80s, dozens of young kids disappeared in Staten Island, and although Rand was often the last person to be seen with them, there was ultimately never enough evidence to put him away for a long time.
Y'all had evidence to put away to put him away for 10 months, didn't y'all? He was kidnapping girls,
years, he would often be seen hanging around young kids, going on walks with them, and even taking them to lunch and dinner with him in local restaurants.
Bro, this is crazy.
After years of letting him walk the streets as a free man, police would finally have a breakthrough in the case in 1987 when they found undeniable evidence that Rand had been behind the disappearance and murder of Jennifer Schweiger, a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome. In 1988, he was sentenced to 25 years to life, and while he was behind bars, more and more evidence was found that tied him to several other disappearances in Staten Island in the 70s and 80s. Unfortunately, he was only charged with one additional major crime in 2004, which was the kidnapping of Holly Ann Hughes, thanks to which he will spend the next 13 years behind bars until 2037. If he lives that long, he'll be 93 by the time he gets out.
So y'all ain't giving... This is beyond me, bro. This is so beyond me, bro.
The Maine Hermit.
I ain't gonna lie, that's real. They got evidence. Both these stories is real. The first two. This one, I wouldn't even say it's scary. It's only scary for kids. Like, me personally, I'm popping your dumb ass. Like, don't even play with me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that bit like a 4 out of 10. That bit, shoot.
The Kennebec Valley is one of the most beautiful regions in Maine, with over 5,000 square miles of forests, rolling hills, and natural paradise surrounding the Kennebec River. Many cabin owners of the North Pond area in the Kennebec Valley have described the area as the most peaceful place on Earth. But it hasn't always been that way.
Make it on this list.
All throughout the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, there were reports of over 1,000 break-ins in the North Pond cabins. For decades, nobody knew who was responsible for the thefts, especially since they were always carried out when there was no one home. As the cabin owners soon noticed, the break-ins seemed to follow a pattern, always peaking in the days before Memorial Day and after Labor Day. As for the stolen items themselves, they ranged from food, to cooking utensils, to books, to propane tanks, to toiletries of all kinds. In the absence of a concrete suspect, the locals eventually named the thief the North Pond Hermit, even though by this point there was nothing to suggest the break-ins were being carried out by a single person. Although it wasn't uncommon for groups of homeowners to venture out into the woods to try to find the North Pond Hermit, they never found a trace, which only added to the legend's mystery. One afternoon in 2002, 100 people attended a North Pond homeowners meeting, and when someone asked how many of them had suffered break-ins, almost all of them raised their hands. As you can probably guess, the North Pond Hermit quickly turned into somewhat of a boogeyman, with the legend frequently being shared over campfires in the area. For years, nobody thought that the person or people behind the break-ins would ever be found. But in April 2013, a man named Christopher Thomas Knight was arrested in the middle of the woods in the North
Bro, look at these people, bro. Y'all be thinking this junk fake, bro. When y'all some parents, bro, it be real life weirdos. People be weird, bro. These little, it might be all this. Some stuff is fake, bro. Like the hook with the hand, the like if it's somebody with a horn on his head. Like, come on, bro. Some of this stuff fake, but it be real life weirdos in the woods trying to kill people, trying to just do weird stuff. You feel me? Like, this is real, bro. You might as well call them niggas ghosts. Them niggas weird as hell. Like, they just be doing shit. Like, what is you out living in the woods for? Breaking their houses. They saying it like he not even stealing anything. He just swooping in houses and leaving. Like,
2013, a man named Christopher Thomas Knight was arrested in the middle of the woods in the North Pond area by an officer who had made it his sole mission to bring the thief to justice. As soon as he was brought to the police station, the cops asked him why he wasn't answering any of their questions. At first, it seemed as though he was having trouble speaking, but eventually he responded that he was ashamed of himself. As it was later revealed, Christopher had been living out in the middle of the woods by himself in an unheated nylon tent, surviving only on the things he stole from nearby North Pond cabins. Shockingly, he had survived winter temperatures of 20 degrees below zero for years and hadn't been to a doctor or taken any medicine for 3 decades. What's most incredible about the hermit's story is that for the entire time he lived in the woods, he didn't have a single conversation with another human being, except for one time when he ran into a hiker and only said hi. Understandably, Chris had lost interest in keeping track of time, so when he was asked how long he had been in the woods by himself, he replied, since the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown, which took place in 1986. As investigators later found out, he was 20 years old when he decided to become a hermit, just a couple of years after high school, although he never gave the authorities a real reason why he decided to disappear. In all his years of isolation, he went to extreme lengths to preserve his privacy. He never lit fires, only moved at night, and hadn't had any kind of communication with the rest of society for more than half of his life. He'd never driven a car, sent an email, or even known what the internet was until his arrest.
Bro.
Interestingly, as the cops dug deeper and deeper into his story, they realized that his only real possessions were his glasses, which he had been wearing for 30 years and could even be seen in his Lawrence High School yearbook picture from 1984.
Bro.
Everything else, down to his underwear and jacket, had been stolen.
Bro.
After the investigation, Knight was sentenced to 7 months in prison, after which he once...
I'm not saying he a terrible, messed up person like the last guy. He was just trying to live. But come on, bro. 7 months, bro. And then the last thing you gave him 10. Like, bro, what? The last guy can get out of jail. And he killing little girls. If he make it to 93, he can get out of jail. I'm not saying he was as bad as him, but like 7 months, bro, this nigga sneaky as hell. Like, yeah. Bro.
After the investigation, Knight was sentenced to 7 months in prison, after which he once again disappeared. According to the cops, he's now living a quiet, peaceful life in rural Maine.
Y'all keeping track of him. Oh, okay. They talking about he disappeared. I told you he's sneaky as hell. Like, what?
Purple Akee.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know what to rate these. Like, that bit is kind of scary. If y'all just don't know who breaking in y'all, but he not really harming nobody. I'll give that bit like a 5.
And 90s, rumors of a massive bodybuilder called Purple Akee began to surface in the northwest of England.
Oh, this a black man. Hey, don't be embarrassed for this, man.
Rumors of a massive bodybuilder called Purple Akee began to surface in the northwest of England. According to the allegations, Purple Akee would supposedly walk the streets of Liverpool hunting down young muscular men and rugby players and oddly ask them if he would let them feel their muscles. If they complied,
I wasn't even breathing. I was holding my breath. Bro, what I just say, bro? I just said don't embarrass our race, bro. What we doing, bro? A random man walk up to you on the street. Hey, can I feel your muscles? Keep in mind, he over big. And just like, what? Man, who agrees to that? Like, dog.
Players and oddly asked them if you would let them feel their muscles.
Dog.
If they complied, he would allegedly squeeze their muscles for much longer than was considered socially acceptable, and would then ask them to perform squats so he could feel their quad muscles.
Come on, bro.
Some teenagers reported that Purple Aki even went as far as to ask them to pose for him, and often offered exercise and nutrition advice for those who gave him the time. Because the rumors were so incredibly ridiculous, nobody really took them too seriously at first, and eventually the story of Purple Aki turned into an urban legend, with crazy details being gradually added to the tale, including one where Purple Aki would allegedly swallow teenagers whole if they let him feel their muscles. But as time went on, it became clear that Purple Aki wasn't just a made-up character created by bored teenagers looking to get some laugh from their friends, but a real person named Akinwul Arobic. Aki was often seen traveling across England by train carrying a plastic bag and asking young men if he could feel their muscles. Naturally, this made a lot of people uncomfortable, and it wasn't uncommon for Aki's face to be featured in local newspapers after several encounters with the law. Most of the accusations against him were related to his creepy behavior around teenage boys, but around 1986, the story of Purple Aki took a really dark turn.
He just sitting there, look. I am popping you, bro. I promise you, I'm either leaving, or if I'm having a bad day, bro, we gonna both lose our life, because I'm gonna go to jail. Why is you sitting here looking at me like this, bro? What's your problem, bro? He do look like a horror movie. Like, he look like, why is he sitting here still as hell? Looking at me. What a big head. Like, no, bro. No, no. He been standing in the same spot
around 1986,
for 10
the story
seconds.
Of Purple
It don't even look like he
took a
breathing.
Really dark turn. Early that year, 16-year-old Gary Keller was walking home from school when he ran into Purple Aki, who immediately asked to feel his muscles. Freaked out by the weird request, Gary said no and ran away. Later that same year, Aki followed Gary to a local outdoor swimming pool, and when the teenager noticed, he ran to New Brighton train station and jumped onto the railroad tracks to get away from Aki. Sadly, the story ended in tragedy, as Gary was accidentally electrocuted by one of the rails.
Oh.
Considering the whole thing happened because Gary was being chased, Purple Aki was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, charged with harassing 14 different teenage boys, and sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
Why did they give people so little time back then for the dumb stuff they was doing? But now you go outside and shoot your gun in the wrong place, you mess around and get 20 years. Like, what, bro? Like,
harassing 14 different teenage boys and sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. In 1988, Aki filed an appeal and complained that the only reason he had been convicted was because he was black. Ultimately, the judges agreed there wasn't enough evidence to prove Aki had been directly responsible for Gary's death, and believe it or not, he was freed and awarded £35,000 in compensation. Between 1988 and 2006, Aki went in and out of jail for failing to resist his compulsion to touch, feel, and measure other people's muscles, and in 2003 he was arrested for an additional 15 charges of harassment and witness intimidation, for which he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Just like any other predator, he was also forbidden from waiting outside schools in the area. A few months later, he was jailed for 15 months for getting up to his same antics. Upon his release, he was once again arrested a few weeks later in 2010 and then again in 2015. After his latest release, he reportedly moved to Leeds, where rumors started cropping up that he had passed away during the pandemic. However, those rumors were put to rest when videos started surfacing in 2023 of Aki walking the streets of Leeds asking random dudes to, you guessed it, feel their muscles. As of today, Purple Aki is alive and well, and will probably continue in his same behavior with or without permission for many years to come.
Oh no,
Loyan.
Hey, that's scary. That boy's still alive. I mean, not like hurting nobody or nothing, but why? People just weird, bro. That been like, people just weird. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, because the fact he's still out here is crazy.
This urban legend, people have allegedly been running into a mysterious human-like figure in the Freeborg Forest in the western part of the country near the town of Malls since the early 2000s. Based on the dozens of allegations that surfaced over the years, the figure has been described as being around 6 feet tall and always wearing a vintage-looking gas mask covering his entire face, a boiler suit, and a cloak.
I'm not doing this, bro.
Most people who supposedly...
this Call of Duty character doing around walking in the woods, bro, trying to hide from the storm, bro. Man, move around, bro.
To the figure reported he or she was completely harmless, but this didn't make the encounters any less terrifying, and it wasn't uncommon for people to report the figure to the police when their children reported feeling scared. As expected, it didn't take local residents long to start adding their own crazy twist to the story, with some claiming that the creature was the ghost of a mentally unstable soldier, while other popular theories assured it was an alien. For a while, the story was classified as an urban legend, and the mysterious humanoid was given the name Le Loyen, also known as the Ghost or the Hermit of Malls. Throughout the early 2000s, Le Loyen was mostly the subject of local oral legend because there was no real evidence to support its existence. But in 2013, the story gained international attention when the Swiss/French newspaper Le Matin published the first ever photograph of Le Loyen, which was sent in by a hiker. After the photograph was published, there was no turning back, as people from all over the country started to make trips to the woods outside malls for a chance to catch a glimpse of Le Loyen. The last known sighting of Le Loyen took place in June 2013 when a local woman named Marianne Desclous saw the figure clutching a bunch of flowers as she was walking outside. Later that year, Le Loyen's clothes were found in the middle of the woods along with a wooden note titled "The Death Certificate and Will of the Ghost des Malls." In the letter, Le Loyen accused the media of having murdered a harmless being by revealing its existence and turning him into a circus freak. The letter also mentioned that due to the unwanted attention, Le Loyen had to abandon its daily walks, which were referred to as happiness therapy in the letter. After the cryptic note was published in the newspaper, many people concluded that Le Loyen had taken its own life, although this has never been confirmed.
Probably so.
As of 2024, nobody has ever seen Le Loyen's true face, and many people have theorized that the figure was possibly a woman with a facial disfiguration who didn't want people to see her, which is supposedly why she wore the gas mask.
I think it was a girl.
But this line of reasoning will probably remain unconfirmed forever.
So it was a girl. They know it was a girl?
Hand-battered
That's
North
weird,
Atlantic
bro.
cod with savory tartar sauce, crispy butterfly jumbo shrimp.
Girls be weird too. Hey, that's the last story. That'd be like a 7 out of 10. That's kind of crazy. Like, why? That's weird. People. Hey, bro.
In the early 70s, dozens of locals started reporting that a man dressed up as a bunny had started haunting the residential neighborhoods around DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia. Although dressing up as a bunny in itself seems pretty harmless, what made the encounters a little scarier was that the guy would allegedly threaten children on the street with an axe and frequently vandalize people's property for no apparent reason. Even though sightings of the so-called bunny man were pretty rare, they seemed to follow a pattern, as the man usually appeared in secluded locations where there weren't a lot of witnesses. The story itself has a lot of elements of a typical urban legend and is kind of hard to believe, but through my research I found that it's all loosely based on a true story. In 1970, a couple was parked in a driveway close to a bridge on Colchester Road in Fairfax County when suddenly a random guy appeared out of nowhere, yelled at them for allegedly trespassing, and threw a hatchet at their car. Terrified, the couple left the area immediately before they had a chance to get a good look at the guy. As they reported the incident to the police, they mentioned the guy had been dressed in light-colored clothing and may or may not have been wearing something white on his head. Although the couple never mentioned anything about a bunny in their statement, as soon as the story hit the news, people started claiming that the hatchet thrower had been wearing bunny ears. Pretty soon, rumors of a man in a bunny suit threatening kids in the woods with a hatchet started surfacing all over the DMV area, and as the years went by, the stories got wilder and harder to believe. Over time, the legend of the Bunny Man has become pretty mainstream, with the bridge on Colchester Road even being renamed as Bunny Man Bridge. As of the uploading of this video, the legend has now been standardized and goes something like this. In 1904, there was allegedly an asylum close to the bridge on Colchester Road. As soon as it was built, a bunch of Fairfax County residents started complaining about the idea of having an asylum full of mental patients so close to their homes, so the authorities supposedly put all the patients in a bus and transferred them to a nearby prison. But on the way to the prison, the bus crashed and all the patients escaped.
Wow.
As the story goes, a few hours later the cops had successfully located and brought back all the patients except for one guy by the name of Douglas Griffin.
For sure.
This is where the legend gets a little weird. Allegedly, the fugitive patient hid in the woods from the authorities for weeks. As the days went by and the cops did everything to find him, rabbit corpses started to appear in the middle of the woods, which led everyone to believe Douglas was eating bunnies to stay alive.
What?
Then, one Halloween night, a group of kids were hanging out near the bridge on Colchester Road when they suddenly saw a blue orb flashing in midair. A second later, they were all strung up like bunnies hanging from the bridge.
Bro, what?
As the legend goes, if you go to Bunnyman Bridge on Halloween night at midnight, the same thing will happen to you.
Yeah, I'm bringing
Obviously,
Drake.
none of this is true, but it just goes to show how much of an impact the story of the Bunnyman has had on mainstream Virginia, DC, and Maryland
I'm bringing
culture.
Drake and a Bible.
Nowadays, there's even Bunnyman t-shirts, a Bunnyman horror movie franchise, Bunnyman beer, and everything in between.
And think about this, y'all. He probably looking at this proud of himself. Y'all is encouraging this joint.
It's a Bunnyman horror movie franchise, Bunnyman beer, and everything in between.
Like, this is not cool.
Needless to say, the area surrounding the railroad overpass near Fairfax Station is now a major attraction for both tourists and locals alike, and will probably remain that way for many years.
Bro, I don't even know. And you know it's going to be some more kids that's going to try to go there. Y'all know that. Y'all know that for sure. That junk is weird. No child kidnapper goes to jail. Who's doing these things? Who could it be? F all that, bro. How they only getting like 10 months in jail? I don't even want to read the comments, bro. But, man, bro, y'all, moral of the story, bro, people is weird, bro. I've been saying it the whole video just proved my point, bro. What is we doing, bro? You got people, what was the first? I don't even remember all of it. Okay, well, this first one was just a house with a devil plant growing in it. You got somebody dressing up with a mask, kidnapping kids, killing them, getting like 1 year. You got people just breaking in people's houses, never being caught. Black man wanting to touch another black man's muscles. A woman with a gas mask, I guess, killed somebody. And then you got a mentally insane man dressed in a bunny suit eating rabbits. Finna start motherfucking COVID-19 all over again. Hey, man, glory to God. I hope y'all enjoy, bro. People's weird. Stay safe. Love y'all, bro.